Hello guys, it's Teenage DC Fan back in another video, and Grant Gustin was recently on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, Inside of You, and of course they talked about The Flash, and he asked Grant how much longer The Flash is going to go on, and according to Grant's response, Season 7 is the last season on his contract, so if he doesn't want to sign for more seasons, then he doesn't have to, and Season 7 could be the final season. But before this whole pandemic happened, apparently he was already in negotiations for a Season 8 and 9. But then everything happened, and of course negotiations were stalled, but hopefully they'll get back to doing that when all of this is over. So yeah, this basically confirms Season 8 and 9. So that means we're getting at least 3 more seasons of The Flash, maybe more, because it's not necessarily saying that Season 9 would be the last one, but it could be. So we know that The Flash is going to go on longer than Arrow did, and this makes sense because ever since The Flash has been on the CW, I think it's been the highest. It's gotten the highest ratings out of any CW show, I think, since the time it's been on, or at least most of the time. So yeah, it's doing pretty good here. So Season 8 and 9, the end of The Flash. What are we going to see happen here? I don't know. We're going to see new characters. We know that both Allegra and Chester have been bumped up to series regulars for next season. Who knows, maybe some main characters will die. Maybe some main characters will leave the show. Just as long as Barry doesn't leave the show, or die, because, then that would be the end of the show. But when it comes to villains, who are we going to see for villains? Because that's my favorite part about all this. We are expecting to see a similar formula to what we saw this season, where you have the season cut into 2 halves with a main villain of the first half of the season and then a main villain of the second half of the season. And we also know that Season 7 is going to start off with the ending of Season 6 because, well, they kind of couldn't finish filming Season 6, so now it's going to be part of Season 7. So they're going to wrap up the whole Black Hole storyline and everything like that there, and then we'll get some new storylines. But hopefully we'll see some more Godspeed. Bloodwork is probably going to come back. He just hinted at that in the last episode. It'd be nice to see the Rogues as a main villain, whether that's for a full season or half a season or something. It'd be nice to see Captain Cold return, or Heatwave or something like that. Weather Wizard, whatever. But Cobalt Blue, I think, is a great idea for a main villain. And he's a villain heavy in demand. Of course, we all want more speedster villains. But Cobalt Blue is, the one exception. We all want more speedster villains, unless it's Cobalt Blue, because then we'll be cool with that, too. Because, if you don't know, in the comics, Cobalt Blue is a relative of Eobard Thawne. And, there's just a whole bunch of complicated relationships with Barry and Thawne, but I think they would simplify it a bit in the show and just make it Eddie Thawne, who died in the first season, sacrificing himself to save Central City. And this is something fans have been wanting for a long time now. We've wanted this character to come back as a villain, and Cobalt Blue is the perfect way to do it, because then he can be a villain and you can have the character back. And plus, there's some amazing fan art that you'll see here in this video. It just looks so cool. I don't really know anything else about the character, but I don't know, he just looks cool, he sounds cool. Cobalt Blue, that's just a cool name. So I'd love to see that at some point. Maybe we could see Kid Flash come back, of course, on the side of Heroes. Some other new characters, of course, showing up throughout the final seasons. But the main thing I want to see when it comes to the end of The Flash and the final season is the Reverse Flash. I think this is an obvious one because, I mean, the show started off with Reverse Flash as the main villain in season 1. He showed up multiple times in every season of The Flash, and he's the Flash's main villain. So, also, if they do this, I've heard other people talking about, like, if they ended The Flash with Reverse Flash, they should do it with, like, showing how he, how the whole show started, and Reverse Flash going back and, killing Barry's mother, and then how there was that other version of Barry there and all that cool stuff. But I think it would actually be cooler if they did not only seasons 8 and 9, but extended it just to season 10, so then you can be just like Smallville and have 10 seasons. And then also because season 10, coincidentally, would be ending in 2024. And the interesting thing you can do with 2024 is, you may remember the Crisis newspaper where it said the Flash vanishes in Crisis, and you can literally see it right here. The original date for that, before it was changed right before Crisis on Infinite Earths to 2019, was April 25th, 2024. So this whole newspaper thing that was being built up all these seasons of The Flash was that the Reverse Flash was there and all this stuff, but the Reverse Flash never showed up in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I get that the newspaper changed, but I don't think we've seen the newspaper since before Crisis, so we don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's back to this, and it still says 2024 now, and I think that would be a great way to end off the series, and have it be kind of like a mini Crisis, but have it be that Crisis battle with between Barry, the Flash, and the Reverse Flash, and have that be where the Flash missing, and he vanishes in this Crisis. I mean, I think that would just be a great way to end it off, because that's what's being built up since the beginning of the series. We've always had this newspaper there, and we've always wondered, like, oh, this is going to happen in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but then it never did. So, and everybody was super disappointed by that. Like, why wasn't Reverse Flash in Crisis? Well, this way they can make up for that, have Reverse Flash in Crisis, except it wouldn't be Crisis on Infinite Earths, it would be just some other Crisis, because, you know, the Flash goes missing, of course you'd call it a Crisis, because that's not a good thing. It's, yeah. But yeah, I think that'd be a great way to end off the series. Of course, I don't want to see this series go anytime soon, but I mean, all good things come to an end at some point. But at least we'll have a couple more seasons here. We'll have at least 3 or 4 years of this show left, which I'm excited for. But what do you guys think about my theory and my idea for how they could end this show? And please let me know in the comments below, how would you end this show, and what do you want to see in the remainder of this series? So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video, so I bestow all my DC knowledge upon you.